We're going to do one more song, but before we do,
but wait, there's more.
I have a few things to say. You know, the reason we're all here tonight is to honor our host and our leader, Mr. John Locke. But you know, just who is this John Locke? You know, the first time I met him, he said, "Oh, my name's John Locke." I said, "Yeah, right, the famous British philosopher that Thomas Jefferson thought was cool." Yeah, right, if I ever heard an alias, that's it. Probably back home he calls himself Adam Smith. When he goes to France, he's probably Rene Descartes, I don't know. Next thing he'll be telling us that he's Sean Connery. Anyway, we ought to give John a break because he had a rough upbringing. When he was young, he got involved with punk bands. And he didn't really know much about it when he got in. First time he hung out with him, some bird came up and said, "Would you like a safety pin for your eyebrow?" John said, "I didn't even know my eyebrow could fall off."
What are you, an audience? An oil painting.
It was a pretty rough bunch that he hung out with. They were known all over England. They were the ones that actually first put Prince Albert in the can. But I understand now why John gets along so well with Ken, because he said they were always getting into fights and his bunch would always knock him stiff. I know, that's a stretch. That's what he told me, I can't help it. John did a good job with the group, with the musically and the eyebrow and everything, but he was not much of a dresser. He was the worst dresser around, but it paid off. It helped out some of his neighbors because there was a punk band in the neighborhood that named themselves after his sartorial method of dress. You may have heard of the Clash. But you can't blame him. He didn't know Dick back then. He didn't know Jack either. When he got tired of doing all the punk stuff, he got into cross-dressing. Now, he didn't do this in England. He just went over the channel into France and Belgium and places, get all dolled up in a dress, high heels, sort of cute, except for the beard, which was sort of a dead giveaway. But something good came of that too. John always makes good out of things that might not be. You've all seen his emails, his modern day slogan for his speaking tours. Everywhere he'd go on the continent, people would say, "Is that Englishman abroad?"
There's the audience.
John is open to all sorts of things. For a while, he almost became a Catholic, which is pretty strange over there in England with the Anglican influence. He almost became a Catholic because he noticed that they had one Pope, Pope John. And then after that, they had Pope John Paul. And he figured if they got a British Pope and named him Pope John Paul, George, and Ringo, he'd become a Catholic. But it never happened. But you know, we got to give John credit for thinking. Of course, sometimes I'm not sure how much John is thinking. The other day, he had heard that Jeff won't drive his car over 45 miles an hour, and he thought that indicated he was a relative of Gordon Lightfoot. He almost didn't come here we almost didn't get this open stage here. Dave told me that when John found out, he thought it was a good idea until he found out about the local high school. And Brits go a long way back with enmity against the Vikings.
That's an in-joke.
Now, I asked John, you know, why did you become an American citizen? We're glad you did. Was it because of that one American song? What was it, the song that you girls knew about? "My Country 'Tis of Thee" is the same tune as the melody for "God Save the Queen." He said, no, it was the Star Spangled Banner, because the melody of that is an old English drinking tune. And I said, well, that's interesting. He said, are you going to miss all your buddies back home in the Isles, Ireland, England, Scotland? He said, no, I get together with him regularly. Jameson, Dewars, and Guinness. Which really helps him when he has meetings with his Republican in-laws. But enough said. We just want to wish John a happy birthday and a warm welcome as a new citizen. All right. I wondered what was in that.
I spotted Dick earlier.
I've been to the. But to end this all up, I just want to say that now the Englishman abroad is also an American at home, and congratulations. We're glad you are. No.
You went to all the trouble.
I was, but I must have stepped on the cord.
Number 6.
Number 6?
Right. Yeah, you need to know that.